The millennial secret to cure 99% of diseases and live 100 years healthy. Did you know that there exists a millennial method that can cure 99% of known diseases, completely restore your memory, and make you live over 100 years in perfect health? A method that requires no costly medications, complicated surgeries, or painful treatments. This secret has been hidden for decades by the pharmaceutical industry because it would represent the end of their multimillion-dollar empire. But today, you're going to discover the truth that changed the lives of millions of people around the world. Stay until the end, because what you're about to hear could transform your life forever. Have you ever stopped to reflect on what is truly the most valuable treasure of human existence? Most people fervently believe it must be gleaming gold, brilliant diamonds, a luxurious mansion, or a luxury automobile. However, in the deepest reality, these material possessions do not represent true treasures. The authentic wealth we possess lies in our vibrant health and our crystalline memory. Without a robust body and a stable mind, even the sweetest happiness feels incomplete and empty. When health fades away, material wealth loses all its shine and appeal. When memory weakens, accumulated knowledge loses its transformative power. Life begins to feel hollow when body and mind are not in perfect harmony. In the modern Western world, we observe how people depend excessively on synthetic medications, chemical injections, and temporary remedies that only mask symptoms. Every small discomfort is answered with a pill, every pain with an artificial chemical solution. But there are great spiritual masters who remind us that the human body is infinitely more extraordinary than we think. Among them, the voice of Paramahansa Yogananda rises majestically, teaching us that our physical body is not merely flesh, blood, and bones. It is a sacred temple, a divine structure specifically designed to house universal, vital energy. When this sacred temple is cared for in the right way, when the mind and spirit are maintained in absolute purity, practically all diseases can begin to heal themselves. Even lost memory, which many scientists consider can never return, can be completely restored. It may sound absolutely incredible at first. How could deep meditation, conscious breathing exercises, or the power of positive thinking heal something as serious as a chronic illness? How could inner strength combat diseases against which modern science desperately struggles? But if we pause and reflect deeply, we will see that the human body begins its earthly journey filled with unlimited energy. Observe a newborn, fresh, vibrant, completely untouched by disease, radiating pure life. Their memory is new and sharp, their energy abundant and inexhaustible. With the passage of time, however, accumulated stress, deficient nutrition, toxic habits, and endless worries begin to erode that natural vitality. The body begins to weaken progressively, the mind becomes restless, and memory begins to fade slowly. The hidden medicine within us. Yogananda constantly reminded us that every human being carries within themselves a hidden medicine, a natural power that can restore perfect health and completely awaken memory. We spend our entire lives searching for cures outside ourselves, but the most powerful cure lives within us. Think about it carefully. When we get sick, what do doctors usually tell us? They tell us we must reduce stress, avoid anger, and create a calmer and more balanced lifestyle. This is because most diseases are not simply caused by external factors, but by the way we live, the way we think, and the way we feel. Chronic stress and constant fear send destructive messages throughout the entire body. Negative thoughts can literally poison the very cells of our blood. But when the mind is calm and thoughts are purified, the body automatically responds with healing. Every thought leaves an indelible mark on the body. Every emotion creates waves that travel through the blood, veins, and nerves. That's why Yogananda said that our inner life is the true foundation of our outer health. The mind-body connection, what science is discovering. If thoughts are clean and filled with divine light, the body naturally flourishes. But if thoughts are loaded with anger, fear, and hopelessness, disease finds its way in. Modern doctors also admit that many diseases are directly linked to stress and mental agitation. High blood pressure, diabetes mellitus, And even certain types of cancer are frequently fueled by the weight of mental tension and unhealthy living. Science is finally beginning to glimpse what Yogananda taught decades ago, that mind and body are completely inseparable, and the condition of one inevitably shapes the condition of the other. If a person learns to awaken their inner energy, if they connect with the silent force of their soul, then every cell of the body can be revitalized. Disease doesn't have to be fought from the outside. The body begins to repair itself from within. Imagine your body as a sacred temple, and within it there is a lamp that never goes out. That lamp is your soul, constantly burning, filled with divine energy. But if the doors of that temple are covered with dust, if the walls are dark and heavy with dirt, then the light cannot be seen. As soon as you clean the temple, the lamp shines brightly again, spreading warmth and luminous radiation. The same happens when we purify our mind and body with meditation, conscious breathing, and positive thinking. The inner energy becomes so powerful that no disease can dominate it. The mystery of restored memory. Many people complain that their memory is no longer sharp. They say, "I forget small things. I can't remember what I studied. My mind doesn't work like it used to." But the truth is that memory is not simply lost due to chronological age. Forgetting is not solely about aging. It is deeply connected to the state of the mind. When the mind is restless, running from one worry to another, filled with fear and tension, memory has no space to remain. Just like a lake that is disturbed by constant stones being thrown into it, the surface becomes endlessly agitated, hiding the depth below. Only when the water becomes still can we see the bottom clearly. In the same way, when the mind becomes quiet in meditation, the door of memory opens once again. Modern science supports this profound truth. Research shows that meditation activates the hippocampus, the part of the brain responsible for memory and learning. By calming the mind, meditation allows the brain to function at its full capacity. This means that lost memory can return and weak memory can strengthen considerably. Yogananda said that meditation is the greatest tool for awakening the hidden power of memory, because in silence the brain is nourished by absolute peace. Facing cancer, the inner battle. And what about the most feared diseases like cancer? Can they really retreat before inner energy? At first it seems impossible. Modern medicine defines cancer as the uncontrolled growth of cells, something that often seems invincible. But Yogananda explained that when cells are surrounded by the right environment, filled with the right energy, they have the ability to correct themselves. The body possesses natural intelligence, and if we connect it with the divine energy of life, even the most ferocious diseases can weaken. This is not superstition or magical thinking. Thousands of spiritual seekers who followed these practices have witnessed extraordinary recoveries. Science itself is beginning to see this profound connection. Through new branches like psychoneuroimmunology and therapies that work by strengthening the immune system, researchers recognize that the mind plays a central role in healing. When thoughts are filled with genuine hope, when meditation feeds the nervous system, the body's natural defense strengthens enormously. Cancer cells lose their power when vital energy flows freely, healing the heart and blood. Now, let's think about the heart and the blood that flows through it. Today we hear almost every day that someone has suffered a heart attack, a stroke, or a blockage in blood vessels. Doctors tell us that fat and waste accumulate inside the arteries, making it difficult for blood to flow freely. But there is another truth that many people don't understand. These blockages don't come solely from food or diet. They also arise from constant stress, persistent fear, and chronic negativity. When the mind is under pressure, the body releases hormones that constrict blood vessels, slowing circulation. Day after day, this tension damages the entire system. Yogananda taught that a calm mind and controlled breathing can help purify the very pathways of blood. This means that by practicing meditation and deep breathing, impurities in blood vessels can gradually clear, leaving the body lighter and stronger. If you're finding value in this life-changing information, I invite you to join our community at Divine Karma Path, where we regularly share ancient and practical wisdom to transform your health and destiny. Subscribe and activate notifications so you don't miss any teaching that could be exactly what you need to hear. Some may wonder if this means we must completely abandon modern medicine. Yogananda never suggested that. He deeply respected doctors and said that medical science is one of the divine gifts. He never advised anyone to ignore conventional medicine. What he emphasized was perfect balance. Medicines and hospitals serve their important purpose, but the deepest power of healing comes from within. A pill can give temporary relief, but it cannot permanently transform the mind. True healing begins when inner life changes, when thoughts are purified, and when breathing aligns with absolute peace. That's why the wisest path is to use medicine where necessary, but also to awaken the greater medicine that already lives within us. The modern lifestyle, an obstacle to health. Observe how life is lived today. People are always running, always chasing something, always connected to machines and screens. The body is alive, but the soul is completely forgotten. Yogananda called us back to the inner journey. He said that when a person turns inward, they realize they are not just a body of flesh and bones. They are a soul, a spark of divine energy. The body may get sick, but the soul is never sick. The soul carries strength and light that can influence the body itself. When a person begins to identify with this inner truth, the body also begins to recover health. If you want 99% of your diseases to fade away, the path is surprisingly simple. Sit in silence every morning, even if only for a few precious minutes. Close your eyes gently, breathe slowly and deeply, and feel the divine energy entering with each inhalation. As you exhale, imagine all disease and all negativity flowing out of your body. This small daily practice slowly builds a shield of inner strength. It cleanses the mind and purifies the body naturally. Over time, you will see that your health begins to transform. The practice doesn't demand hours. It only asks for genuine faith and unwavering consistency. And if you wish to sharpen your memory again, the same path contains the master key. Many people believe that memory can only be improved by studying more or forcing the brain to work harder. But memory is not about pressure or excessive effort. It's about deep silence. When the mind is calm after meditation, even a few minutes of focused learning penetrates more deeply than hours of restless effort. Knowledge settles in the brain naturally and permanently. That's why people who meditate regularly often find that their memory remains clear even as they age physically. The key to defeating serious diseases. The same is true for diseases as threatening as cancer. Healing begins not in paralyzing fear, but in unwavering faith. If you keep your inner hope alive, if you avoid drowning in negative thoughts, the body finds strength to fight valiantly. Yogananda encouraged seekers to invoke divine energy every day, to say with absolute sincerity, "Fill me with your strength, fill me with your divine light." When this becomes a living practice, you will feel the body awakening, muscles gaining power, and cells renewing themselves. Science agrees that when the immune system is strengthened through positive thinking and meditation, diseases often slow down or even retreat completely. Let's return again to blood vessels. Doctors say that when blockages form, surgery or heavy medicines are the only way to treat them. But Yogananda explained that conscious diet, controlled breathing, and purified thinking can also play a fundamental role. If a person controls what they eat, keeps their mind calm, and practices slow, deep breathing every day, blood vessels gradually recover their original purity. With each breath, you're not just taking in oxygen. You're drawing in vital energy, prana, the subtle force that feeds every cell of your being. And with each exhalation, you release not just carbon dioxide, but the weight of your worries, your anger, and your fears. That's why those who practice pranayama and meditation regularly are far less likely to face heart disease. Their veins remain flexible, their blood stays clean, and their faces remain fresh with radiant vitality. The rebirth of memory. Memory is also shaped by this same profound truth. Forgetting is not always a degenerative disease. It's often just the result of a mind that is scattered in all directions. When the mind is pulled in every direction, memory escapes. But when the mind gathers in stillness through meditation, memory returns with surprising clarity. Yogananda often said that meditation awakens the deepest layers of the brain. This awakening creates new neural pathways while also reactivating old memories thought lost forever. That's why people who meditate can age in years, but their mind and memory remain young and vibrant. Yogananda beautifully explained that the human body is its own medicine, and the soul is the doctor living within it. When you awaken the soul, the body begins to heal naturally and automatically. This is not imagination or fantasy. It is an experience that thousands of people have felt directly. People who practice meditation and inner stillness often find that they feel younger, stronger, and more alive than they felt before. Their faces glow with inner calm, their bodies resist diseases, and their energy uplifts not only themselves but everyone around them. Understanding cancer from a holistic perspective. Think for a moment about a disease like cancer. Doctors describe it as uncontrolled cell growth, a malfunction of the body's natural order. But Yogananda explained that this growth is not caused solely by physical reasons. It's also linked to a person's inner life, to their emotions, thoughts, and mental state. When a person lives in constant anger, fear, or pain, their cells absorb this negative energy. They lose balance and begin to behave in destructive ways. But when a person surrounds themselves with peace, love, and inner contentment, the same cells respond with harmony. They find balance again and return to their natural, healthy state. That's why meditation has proven to play a powerful role in healing even the most severe diseases. The 3 keys to complete health. Yogananda always reminded people that health is not just about food. Food is important, but thoughts are more important than food. If a person eats the best food but fills their mind with anger and sadness, their body will still become weak. But if another person eats simply but fills their thoughts with joy and peace, their body will remain strong. This doesn't mean we should ignore nutrition, but it means that food alone cannot determine health. The mind plays an even greater role. That's why Yogananda gave 3 keys to complete health. Meditation for the mind brings stability and deep calm. Pranayama for the body fills the body with vital energy, cleansing blood and lungs. Devotion for the soul connects us with the divine, filling the heart with love and gratitude. When these 3 practices unite, disease has no space to remain. Forgetting disappears, fear loses its grip, and weakness transforms into strength. Specific practices for transformation. Yogananda never tried to make meditation complicated. He offered simple practices that anyone can follow. First practice, breath meditation. Sit quietly in the morning, close your eyes, and focus solely on your breathing. Imagine that each inhalation is bringing divine energy into your body, and each exhalation is carrying away all disease, fatigue, and negativity. Even 10 minutes of this practice can fill the body with light throughout the day. Second practice, pranayama, the art of conscious breathing. Take slow, deep breaths, hold them for a moment, and then release gently. This simple act not only increases oxygen in the blood, but also strengthens nerves and cleanses veins. Third practice, deep meditation. Meditation means fixing the mind in one place, stopping its endless wandering. That focus can be on breathing, on a word of prayer, or even on an imagined light within the heart. Fourth practice, devotion and gratitude. Yogananda suggested that each day, even for a few minutes, we should invoke the divine and give thanks for life. Gratitude opens the heart like sunlight opens a flower. The global impact of these practices. Imagine if every person on Earth spent 20 minutes daily on these practices. How many diseases could be prevented? How many broken lives could be restored? How many families could live in peace? It's not just about physical health. It's about elevating the quality of life itself. Yogananda always said that health is not simply a condition of the body. It is a condition of the soul. When the soul is happy, the body becomes healthy. This teaching shows us that the fight against disease is not an external battle, but an inner journey. Yogananda reminded us that the human battle is never just against external enemies. It's against internal enemies that silently infiltrate the mind. These enemies are tension, fear, greed, anger, and impatience. They devour our health more quickly than any physical attack. If a person wants complete health, they must learn to defeat these hidden forces. Science can point to the physical causes of disease, but only the inner journey reveals the spiritual causes. Until these are conquered, health cannot be complete. Yogananda said many times that mental peace is the greatest medicine a person can ever find. Modern research confirms this truth repeatedly. It has been shown again and again that those who meditate have lower levels of stress hormones in their bodies. Their immune systems strengthen, making them less vulnerable to diseases. But there is a fundamental condition. The person must keep faith alive. Faith is the fire that gives energy its strength. Without faith, meditation is just another technique. With faith, it becomes a bridge to divine power. Every teaching we've explored reminds us of a simple truth. The greatest power of healing is not outside us, but already lives within us. Doctors, medicines, and treatments can play their role, but the final and most lasting cure must come from within. The mind is the builder, breathing is the carrier, and the soul is the true healer. When these three work together, no disease can stand in their way. If you're tired, if you feel sick, if you're losing hope, remember this: you are not powerless. You carry within you the light of life itself. That light can guide you, heal you, and lift you above the weight of suffering. But the choice must be yours. No one else can walk this path for you. Begin today, even with just a few minutes of silence, some conscious breaths, some words of gratitude. These simple steps can open a journey that changes absolutely everything. The beauty of Yogananda's message is that it doesn't belong to a specific time, place, or people. It belongs to all humanity. If this message has touched your heart and you want to continue this transformative journey, I cordially invite you to join our spiritual family at Divine Karma Path. Here we regularly share millennial wisdom, real testimonies of healing, and practices that have changed thousands of lives. Subscribe now and allow us to be your companion on this journey toward perfect health and spiritual realization. The true medicine is already with you. The fire of healing, of strength, and of wisdom already burns within you. Protect it, nourish it, and allow it to shine to transform not only your life, but the entire world.